Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to On the Bench F4, I believe. Yeah, it is. I am Roshan, the treasurer. I'm also here with Abby, the vice president. President, sorry. Josh Brown,
Hello.
mixed up.
Oh no.
Sorry for that. And then we've also got our two guests today. Good old Jacob, also known as Tao. And we've got Alex as well with us today.
Hi.
Hello.
Very nice. Right, so let's kick it off straight away with how our teams have done over the good old week/weekend. So we'll start off with Talmatina down in League One.
My team, Hull City, did very well, getting a 2-0 win against Charlton Athletic. Very dominant performance. Scored two very good goals. Charlton went down to 10 men when they were 1-0 down, which kind of helped us out to make sure we get the win. But considering we'd had two games cancelled before this game, so we hadn't played at all over the Christmas period, we'd come back off the back of some bad performances really before the break, and then got a good win against a promotion rival really. So yeah.
Very nice. By any chance, did Tommy Eve score? I'm really hoping.
No, he didn't. I think he started the game and then got subbed off, I think. But one of the players that scored for us has literally just been recalled back to Bristol City, so he's not at the club anymore.
That's great. But yeah, you're sat second right now, just below Lincoln.
Yes, second with a game in hand. If we win, we go 1 point behind them.
Ah, very nice. Do you reckon Hull City will end up getting promoted?
We should do. I believe that we have the best squad in the league, so we should really get promoted. It's just whether we can string a lot of good performances together, and well, how this January window goes, because I've seen that we've got quite a few players linked away from the club. So if we can keep them at the club, and then perhaps bring in some good, maybe a better striker, and some other players that we might need, we should definitely go up next year, or this year. Sorry.
Fair enough. We will continue with Hull City a bit later, but we're gonna switch it back into the good old Premier League, which we love. I know someone who's right now, Mr. Josh Brown. How did the Saints do?
Well, the only word I can say is amazing. That's
Yeah,
all I can say. That's all I can say. 1-0, won against Liverpool.
We need you to elaborate a bit more, please.
Pardon? You need me to elaborate? Okay. We beat the best team in the Premier League, so we are now the best team in the Premier League.
Wrong.
Fair point, to be honest.
Okay, I shall elaborate. We beat Liverpool 1-0. They are drawing currently on points with Man United, but Man United have a game at hand. So we may have helped United in the title race.
For that we are forever grateful. If we do win the Premier League, it will be a massive shout out to Southampton. Don't worry.
You better buy me a beer.
Oh, definitely. It will be a red stripe as always. Don't worry.
Yes, we love that.
Right, Alex. I mean, we both support the same team, but I'll let you do the honours of telling everyone how our weekend went, or we.
Oh, we played New Year's Day. We were the late game that day. We beat Aston Villa 2-1 with goals from Anthony Martial. Yes, Martial, and a penalty from Bruno. I thought it was a hard fought match because I was on the edge of my seat like the entire game. But I thought it was a good 3 points to get because we're now obviously behind Liverpool goal difference with a game in hand over them. So if we win, hopefully,
perfect,
we're going places.
I mean, I definitely was on the edge of my seat in that game. Not because I was watching the game, but because I was probably playing zombies at that time with Josh Brown and Abby. But yeah, I was watching the game while we were playing, and thank the Lord that I kept dying so I could get the game properly. But yeah.
Bye. That clearance. I'm like, yes, bye, come on.
See, I said straight after that game, I messaged Brown and said, Eric Bailly is a beast. And he replied to me with, no.
Yes,
he's not.
Yes.
He's not.
Yes, he is. Yes,
he's not.
He's good when he's fit.
Yeah, but he is injury prone. That's a good point.
He's injury prone, but he's a
Oh
beast.
my. Oh my.
And you can see how much it meant to the players after the game as well, like how they start celebrating.
Everyone's gonna give Eric Bailly a hug.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think if you could keep him fit the whole season, I think I mean, probably would definitely be top 2, top 3, like consistently, because I think he's a great centre half in my opinion. But
Yeah, thank you.
he's sometimes a bit scatty. He reminds me of Zuma a bit. Like he's a bit scatty with his feet, with his like footwork. But I mean, I think he's in the right centre half.
I think Man United need him. If they don't get a quick centre back in this January transfer window, because they need a quick one to partner with either Lindelof or Maguire, so Maguire can do what he normally does and just be aggressive and smash them. And then they've got that quick one to get back in.
I don't know if you'd agree with this, Alex, but I think Bailly should be with Lindelof as a pairing. I don't know what you think.
Yeah,
what do you think would be a better centre-back pairing?
I think Lindelof and Bailly is actually a good shout, but Lindelof does have a back issue at the moment, and Bailly is injury prone, so can we keep that partnership together long enough? But if not, we've got to go with Maguire again and try and test other partnerships.
Yeah, it's true. We'll switch to last but not least.
We don't have to switch.
Where are Chelsea at the moment?
9. They had 9.
Oh, they're 9. That's where Southampton were. That's where Southampton were. That's where Southampton were.
You dropped down. You're 9th.
You're 9th, yes. Aston Villa have the same amount of points, but they have more better goal difference.
Yeah. So go on, please elaborate on Chelsea.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think there is much to elaborate on. I know a lot of people like seeing Chelsea lose and like Werner being on the wing, and he wasn't even on the wing, so we can't even dispute that at the moment. I mean, first half was just awful. I mean, Gundogan scoring a goal like that made him look like Messi. I mean, he just let it go through his legs. It was a good goal. I mean, it should have been stopped.
Very good goal.
Well, I mean, I can't remember the goals. I was too busy eating pizza. I wasn't really paying attention because I knew we'd lose. I can't remember. I know De Bruyne scored. It was a good goal. Second goal. What was the second goal? I can't remember. There's been that many goals conceded. Oh yeah. I mean, I thought that was quite a good finish. But I mean, obviously we drew to Villa 1-0. I don't know how we got a point. Let's be honest. I mean, I thought Villa were probably the better team in that game as well. I'm not sure what's happened to our defence. It have been so solid. Nothing's really changed there. We got the front three, Ziyech, Pulisic and Werner, of what everyone's been hoping to start, and it was their first start together and it just didn't work. I mean, Frank picked Werner as full forward for a counter-attacking team, yet we didn't even counter-attack. So that didn't work. I mean, I feel like Lampard's playing players on, like who he bought, not necessarily on form. I mean, arguably you would start Tammy Giroud up front for Werner because he can't score at the moment. Pulisic has probably been our best player. He brings Ziyech in, who's been injured quite a lot. I mean, Callum Hudson-Odoi's been playing well. He even came on in the second half and scored. And he got an assist against Villa last week. But I mean, people are saying, "Oh yeah, Chelsea won the second half." It don't matter if we won the second half. We lost 3-0, 3-1, or whatever. I mean, the second half performance was better. I mean, Gilmore came on, and he's going to fight for the badge. And I just feel like that midfield three of Kante, Mount, and Kovacic just got completely demolished, in my opinion. Which is quite rare, and I've never seen so many misplaced passes. But obviously, at the moment, we're still in this slump, and since we started this podcast, Chelsea haven't won a game. So Is it
also a bit more embarrassing the fact that they didn't have a striker?
I mean, obviously,
De Bruyne up front,
They had no natural striker.
I mean, Man City have had this problem for a while. I mean, Aguero hasn't been the same for the last few years, consistently with injuries, and then Jesus has been like in and out of injury.
He's been naughty recently.
I mean,
Ferran Torres up front. We've been playing Ferran Torres
Yeah.
up top. Bro.
Mm.
Weird.
I mean, I think with Sterling, Foden, and De Bruyne like kind of switching, and De Bruyne currently main forward. I mean, I think it worked for them. It worked really well, obviously, because they won. But
Yeah, they demolished you.
I mean, even that Man City. I mean, it was still a strong Man City team. I mean, I know the goalkeeper was making his debut, but he didn't have nothing to do apart from take the ball out the net. But that was about it. He had nothing. He had no other major shot to save or anything. So,
Is it time for Frank Lampard to leave?
I mean,
Okay.
no. I mean, I feel like any Chelsea fan that says that. I mean, I'm always
Tyler
going to
said it.
Lampard in. I mean, yeah, he said that, but I think that that's his opinion. But I think Lampard's a legend at our club, but I know being a manager and being a legend as a player is a different thing.
Mm.
Obviously we've had our injuries as well, but that's no excuse. I mean, we played our best starting 11 on paper against Man City. I mean, apart from Reece James, I'd say. And the counter-attacking team that we were supposed to have wasn't counter-attacking. We had no opportunity to do so. I thought Man City were the better team. I mean, as I said last week, we're still going through this slump. And even when we beat West Ham, it wasn't a good result. 3-0 was quite flattering. But I mean, I'm sure we'll bounce back, and we've got Fulham next, which is obviously a massive derby game, and we have to win that. Otherwise, it's got to be questioned. Because I know Fulham are picking up points here and there, but we're by far better than it. But I mean, we'll see. But I mean, I'm still Lampard in, and we'll just see how things go.
So I was
Yeah,
looking at
okay.
this news thing. It was like if Lampard doesn't get top 4, he's going to get the sack because he spent so much money. He spent
I
like
mean,
222
I
million.
can agree. I can
is-
agree with that.
See, I don't really know.
So if he
to
doesn't
be
get top
honest.
4, will he get sacked? Sort of thing.
I mean, you got to think about it. We finished 4th last season on a transfer ban with a much worse team than we do
Yeah.
now.
Not gonna
So-
lie, I was quite scared going into this one. I'm like, Chelsea are going to do so well. They've got so many good players. I'm like,
Trust
Yeah,
me,
that's
I mean,
something.
if you ask Josh and Roshan, I had so much confidence for this season. I mean, arguably, we have the best depth in the Premier League, not if the best depth for like each position.
Nah, City's are better. City's are better.
Who?
City
City.
have got way better depth.
Yeah, I mean, I said one of the best, if not the best.
Oh,
I mean,
I think- I
it's
think-
up for debate. No.
Please
I
say
I mean,
think Southampton have the best depth.
I think a lot of teams have very good depth going forward, but going back, their depth
Oh,
is. I think all the top teams struggle when it's like going back. Like look at Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, United. They've all got poor depth when you look at defenders wise, as we've seen with
yeah.
all
I
the
do
Liverpool
agree, yeah.
defenders getting injured.
yeah.
Henderson having to play centre back.
Hey, we've got Rojo and Phil Jones.
Is
don't
Rojo
ask.
even still at the club?
Rojo
Is
is still
Jones even
there.
alive?
Jones
No
is
idea.
injured, and he's not in the Premier League squad, so he can't even play for us anyway.
I literally have no idea anymore. I don't know what them two have done.
Rojo apparently is looking for a move back to Argentina, but
He was
nothing's
on loan
final.
last year, wasn't he, Rojo?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like the second half of the season. We loaned him, and I think we're looking to sell him because we've got some players that aren't going to play realistically. They don't have a chance.
Yeah.
I think.
We just got to get rid of players and bring in some new ones. Get in
Bring in the right players, not the wrong ones.
Koulibaly. I would love if we get Koulibaly or Cristiano Ronaldo. I would be so happy.
Same, like yes. But will
Please
Cristiano
just
Ronaldo come
Wouldn't anyone?
back? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Cristiano Ronaldo back to the club, you know.
Get rid of Pogba. Swap him. I don't care.
Yes.
We're not taking Douglas Costa and Aaron Ramsey. We want Cristiano Ronaldo. Why would you give?
Realistically, you want Delict, mate. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I would take Delict as well. But I just want to know what was their thought process in going? Okay, we'll take Pogba. And we'll give you Douglas Costa and Aaron Ramsey. Why would we want Aaron Ramsey?
They're trying to get.
They've only just got
the
Douglas
least
Costa
important
back
players,
as well. They only just got him back. So putting him forward to go. I know he's gone, hasn't he? Yeah, he went back to Bayern. Never mind. Yeah, I forgot. I forget he's not even at Juve now.
No, I'm pretty sure he's still with Juve.
He's at Bayern.
Or loan.
I think it's a loan, yeah, but he's definitely
Yeah.
not. He's not playing for Juve currently.
Oh,
Hmm.
fair
What
enough.
we're trying
Yeah.
to pull there, then. Oh, we'll pay his transfer fee. We promise.
Yeah, just don't ask Bayern. Just
Just,
kidnap him and send him to
Don't-
Manchester.
Don't tell him this is going on, but we'll give you Douglas Costa. Hush, hush. Jesus.
I mean, I think
Oh,
Aaron Ramsey was a good player whilst he was at Arsenal, and I think it was a wrong decision
Yeah, he
for
was
them
just
to let him
injury.
go.
He was injury prone, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, same as
United
Wilson.
That was the only- that was his only
injury-prone
problem.
players.
I don't know. but
He was good, yeah.
I quite liked him. I think he's pretty decent. But he had that whole thing as well with the
The curse. Every time he'd score, someone would die.
I
That
did.
was an
Yeah, I read
interesting
about that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a celebrity, wasn't it?
It was so weird because it like genuinely kept happening, and everyone was like, "What?" Like one of those weird conspiracy theories that you read about, and you're thinking, "Is this true or is it not?" And then you've got loads of people that actually like backing. Like, come on, some of you are actually stupid in terms of backing. Like the world is flat. That is the most stupidest conspiracy I've ever heard.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
my. Imagine it comes out today. The world is flat is actually true.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
That'd be rough.
Anything
that.
that's
The
happened in
start of
2021.
2021.
Oh no.
Or alien invasion, you know?
Yeah, it's got to be something.
Not putting anything past 2021 at this point. 4
Yeah.
days in, we're in a
Shh,
lockdown.
don't say anything. You might jinx it.
Yeah, if it does happen, blame me.
We're only 5 days in and we've already got a lockdown, so it's not going well.
Oh no.
2020 is my year. No, it wasn't.
no. We're like lockdown 2.0, 3.0 now. It's going to be like 26 and 0 by the time.
It's got. There's been more lockdowns than Sheffield United has points.
I saw
Saw that on
that.
Oh
Instagram.
my god.
I saw that as well.
Oh,
You know what? Saying all this, 2020 actually like wasn't that bad in terms of what we had. I mean, we saw Liverpool win the league after God knows how many.
And Leeds win the championship.
Yeah, I'm sure you were buzzing as a Man United fan to see that, Roshan. Yeah.
I definitely wasn't buzzing. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there for all the Liverpool fans because I know they will say something about it.
Yeah, they will. But
like Alex said, Leeds got promoted to the Championship. I bet you were buzzing about that, Tal.
oh, absolutely buzzing. Yeah.
Because my dad supports Liverpool, so didn't I hear about it?
Well, I mean, was your dad crying yesterday?
Yeah, I messaged him saying, "How are you enjoying the game, Dad?" And he was like, "I don't want to talk about it."
We were playing pro clubs last night, and Oshie was watching the game, and he was just like, "What is the ref doing?" And that's Oshie's a Chelsea fan. He was just like, the ref absolutely cheated them out of that game.
Did you see our manager's reaction to the win?
He started crying.
He was on his knees, like really passionate about the game. This is why I love him.
I like Hasenhüttl. I think he's quality, Hasenhüttl.
He literally turned. Jurgen Klopp turned to look at him, and he was like, "For God's sake!" Goes over and just taps him on the back and walks off. He's such a. I love him so much. He's not going to leave. He's not going to go to a bigger club. He loves us.
The most passionate manager you will find.
I just love that. Yeah.
Leicester would have won more penalties than us.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the most passionate manager. He just sits in his chair and lets his players do whatever he wants.
Yeah, with his little iPad.
Yeah, the passion.
I just like sit there like, yeah.
That's so passionate. He doesn't even manage him. He lets them manage him. That's how passionate he is. He does it for the badge.
He just sits on the sideline like messaging his.
He's probably expecting to get subbed on like he was when he played for United.
Yeah, he probably is. He
warms up on the touchline.
He's ready.
He's messaging Alex.
Oh, he's got his kit on underneath.
Pogba's getting warmed up. Sorry, mate, I'm going on. You can sit back down.
It's like, sit back down.
He probably would still do a job in that United team. To be fair, 40-odd-year-old Solskjaer off the bench.
What a sub!
He's basically the super sub. That's
He's like, England's like best sub.
He's such a beast. But either way, we'll switch on from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being a beast. But we'll go on to something that's been heavily talked about in 2020. Alongside, obviously, we've had stuff like Black Lives Matter come about, but we've also got gender equality as well within sports. That's come about hugely. I've seen the female captain, Megan Rapinoe or something like that, I believe.
Megan Rapinoe.
I didn't want to mispronounce it, but yeah. She's been heavily active on Twitter about female rights and whether they should be paid equally and stuff like that. So what is everyone's opinion on it? What have we got?
I think it's a tough one, really.
It's a very tough subject to talk about, really.
Yeah, because obviously I agree that they are playing the same game. They should be paid the same. But then again, it's also the reason they're not getting paid is because I think obviously it's more male football that is being streamed on Sky Sports than female. So that's why there's like more revenue coming in for that side of it.
I read up on some stuff about it a couple of months ago, I think. That was about after the Women's World Cup, the last one, when they started talking about it. And it went into like the statistics of, because obviously they were saying, oh, we need to get paid more, and it went into like the statistics of, I think it was comparing the Men's World Cup to the Female World Cup. So it was the France winning squad and the US women's squad that won it. And it was just looking at like the percentages of like how much they got paid of the winnings.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously with the men's sport being that, there's that much more money into it, the percentage that the men's team actually got from winning, they did actually earn more money than the women's team, but the percentage was actually a lot smaller than what the women's was. So if anything, they were still earning less, but in a way it was more because the percentage of the like prize money or whatever was actually bigger than what the men's team actually got.
Okay. I mean, obviously you are right. It doesn't get televised as much. But you think there's like you think that's just Sky Sports being Sky Sports in terms of just going, you know what, we want to make more revenue? Or do you think it's because of the fact that, like, I don't know, it's just a bit...
At the end of the day, they are a business. They've got to try and make the most money off it, and they see it as it being that. So you can't really like
women's football has like gained a lot more support though, because I remember I don't know if it was either the last World Cup or it was the Euros before that. I think the average attendance to games was like, they were played in like smaller stadiums than obviously the men's, because they're all played in like 70 or thousand capacity stadiums, but they were held in like, maybe 30,000 capacity, but was still like pulling off like very good numbers compared to like previous events that had happened. So like the support for female football's gone up a lot recently. So I guess it's kind of the start of the journey of it really blowing up, really.
I know I've heard stuff about it going. The facilities that some women's football players have is a lot different to men. I know Abby has played for Crystal Palace, so she would probably be the best on this. What did you think? What do you think? Do you think it's the same? Or do you think it's quite different?
I think it's a hard thing because obviously I've played football for years, and obviously coming up in Crystal Palace, there's always going to be, men's football is always going to generate more money than women's football. I think that's a given for the next years and years and years. But in regards to facilities, I know when I was at secondary school, we always used to have the hand-me-downs guys like gear, if that makes sense. So we would wear like the old guys match kit rather than the new one because they got priority. So I mean, in regards to like when I play for Palace, I mean, I never the facilities, you don't play at the venues, say like that guys might necessarily play in. I mean, I know a lot of teams playing like the Common, like Clapham Common, or like them type of places. I mean, I was fortunate enough, we had like our home ground was Bromley Football Club, so it was a stadium. But for like the first team, we still, I think they still play at Bromley FC now. But I always used to play at Crystal Palace Park in that stadium. That was our home ground. So we always had like locals come and watch us sometimes. But I think in regards to women's football in general, tournament, as like Tao said, Jacob, I just called Tao. Tournament on tournament, the popularity gets more and more. So each year, the women's football have been breaking records at the World Cup and the Euros. So I think that's a massive progress. I think it just depends where these tournaments are set, because obviously the US women's football, arguably, we all know it's greater than the men's soccer. I think that's what's been a lot of dispute more on that side of the world, with the US soccer women's national team not getting paid the same as men, even though the women's soccer team bring in a lot more revenue than the male.
Because the male team, like the male team not qualifying for the World Cup was massive.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And I think I know there's a tournament coming up. I don't know if it's the World Cup after next. It's being held in the USA and Mexico,
Yeah.
so they get automatic rights to be in that tournament. So that helps them in that regards. But with the women's team, like Megan Rapinoe and Alex Morgan and all these players, I'm obviously bringing in more revenue was justify the reasons for the women to earn the same as men, even though men are now like currently getting more than the women. So I understand it in the US. And with England and with England's football in this country, like national teams, the men and the women get paid the same.
It's been like
and
that
that's
since
been
January 2020. So
yeah, it's been going on for a few years now. So I think that's good in that regard. I mean, that's a massive step because England's women national team, obviously, we nearly won the World Cup a couple of years ago. You know,
yeah, I think we lost to
came
USA women.
yeah, that drinking a blinking cup of tea.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
semi-final, we
I
lost
hate
to
that celebration.
USA.
And every time someone does it on FIFA, I'm like, wow,
Yeah, I hate it.
I hate it. And I know, like a World Cup before, we lost out to an own goal. I mean, we're like so close, but yet so far. And obviously, with the men coming third, not third, we finished fourth, didn't we, in the World Cup? My life peaked when Trippier scored that free kick.
I think everyone's did. I think everyone's did.
I wasn't even in this country, and my life peaked when I was. It was amazing. But yeah, in regards to women's football, I think we all peaked at that moment. But obviously, we're getting closer and closer with English football for winning the World Cup, as with the men and the Euros, with the men and the women. So I can justify the equal pay in that regards. I think that's right. But when you've got the men's, as Jacob said, not even qualifying for the World Cup, and the women's team winning it most years, yet the men are getting paid more. Now that's an argument. In that regard. So I think it depends how you look at it. It's never going to be the same, in my opinion, because as Josh said, men's football's become a massive business rather than, results. Like Burnley make money year on year for not paying loads of money in transfers. So I think a couple of years ago, they got like £33 million in profit. I might be wrong there. But they're like a profit-making business. So I think it depends. With women's football, it's more supporting the club in that sense and building it up. Like Man United have invested in the women's team, and they are very, very good this season with Casey Stoney as their manager.
They're top of the table. 20.
They are. And they've got Tobin Heath and Kristen Press from the US to help them with that. And I think bringing them players in will only promote the Women's Super League more and make it a better league for to attract players. And that's what it's doing. I mean, you never hear a few years ago of US players coming over to England to play football because it was always about the US. But now they're coming over here. So I think that can generate the popularity for that sense. But as I've said, I don't think equality in terms of actual club teams is ever going to be the same as it is with the national.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just because obviously the nationals, everyone gets involved in the nationals, whereas the clubs, they're only going to, like, people are just raised to know that there's a men's team and not that there's a women's team as well.
Yeah. I mean, I sometimes go to women's football matches, but I've been to watch Chelsea men's more than women's. I mean, I think it just depends where you live and that, but
I don't know if that's just like supporters of that atmosphere and stuff like that. Because obviously, when there's more fans there, it's better atmosphere.
I think with women's football, more young girls are going to watch it than say young boys. Obviously, same with men's football, but I think men's football is obviously more supported with women and men, and then women's football is more women going to watch women. But I don't know. I think it depends. I mean, playing football growing up, I think the difference has got better since when I used to play. Obviously, Chelsea ladies now own AFC Wimbledon's old stadium. That's their home ground. So I think made leaps in that regard, but I don't think there'll ever be full equality across the scale. That's just my opinion, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, but I think as long as women's football is respected, I don't have an issue with the money sense. I think if women can afford to play football alone and not have a side job that a lot of sometimes teams used to have, I think if they can support themselves with that one single salary from their club, then I don't think it should be an issue.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. I know there was a whole thing about it a couple of years ago. I believe it was within the Chelsea team, actually, the women's Chelsea team, where it came out publicly. But do you ever think? I mean, obviously, I don't entirely know. I'm probably not the best and well-educated person on this topic. But do you think the quality in how they play football is the same?
What do you think, Alex? I don't know. I don't know if you watch women's football on a regular or.
I follow Man United Women because we've got MUTV, so Man United Women football are on there, and it's only just recently now that they've decided, okay, we're going to put. I know the women's game against Chelsea Women is on BT Sport, so having this is going to be more important. But I have seen the quality. I think the men's team is, I'd say, the better than the women's team. I've seen them play football. The quality is different. I think the men's football does have more quality, but then it does come with funding. Because when I was in school, when my secondary school didn't have a women's team, because I went to an all-girls school, so I couldn't actually play football. At primary school, we didn't have a women's team. I was told I couldn't play football. So I think if you want to get more women involved in the game, you've got to start lower down. You've got to say, get into football. Because whenever I said I wanted to play football, they were like, you can't play football. I'm like, all right then.
That is something that happens common. I know my younger sister went through a lot of that because obviously she's grown up in basically like a sporting household as have
Same
I.
as me.
Yeah, but like the thing is, I know she really wanted to play football, and the only reason why she stopped playing was just because she kept getting told that women don't play football, they don't do this, they don't do that.
It's exactly the same as me. Yeah. Like, I think if I grew up watching Man United Women, because we've only had a team for like 3 years, if I grew up thinking about I can play football, I can do this, but since I didn't have that, I always watched the men play football. I never grew up watching football. I never believed that women could play football, especially because I was told a lot, you can't play football, you're a girl, Alex. So yeah.
I think it's quite hard because obviously if you're like put into that mindset at a young age, like as your sister like witnessed that she was told she can't play football, and like with you, Alex, at like all girls school you can't play football. I think that problem stems from schools itself in not allowing the equality to like have teams for like both different sports. But I think it's hard because if you're not educated in that way that you can play it and you're told no, you're going to think, I just can't do it, which I think is wrong. I think everyone should be able to do whatever they want to do, and being told you can't play football because there's not a team, that stems from the problem which has grown into what football is now. So I think that's an issue. But I think with funding, as you said, with like BT and BBC and getting into that, it does help women's football. But if you're not told from a young age that you can play, then it's going to put people off playing. So
television might help in terms of breaking down that. If you see it more the more times you see something, it becomes more common and like natural. So I think if more games get publicly televised and they are actually promoted, because I know whenever you watch a football game at halftime, you always get a promotion of these are the next games coming up, and these are the times that are happening. But the thing is, I don't see it too often with women's football. I think if it came up, like more people would actually go, you know what? I might as well watch it, see what it's like, and then from there they can obviously get a judgment as to whether they'd want to watch it again or not.
Yeah, I agree. I think when obviously Tier 3 happened, I know there was a super women's weekend where like Chelsea were playing Arsenal and like all the derbies were happening and they were hoping people could come.
As well,
that's it. Yeah, but obviously people couldn't attend those, so that was a massive revenue loss in them regards. And I know last season West Ham ladies played at the London Stadium and they got about 30,000 people. So it's about promoting it in a sense that you want everyone to come and watch, but at the same time I still think there's a negative stigma in some regards. I feel like it's always going to be there. I mean, the quality of football has improved massively. And obviously women's football, like the FA Cup final, was never at Wembley until like in the last few years. So that's still a step for women's football.
And I think with also women's football, like they don't normally play in the men's team because I know Man United Women play at the Leah Sports Village in the training ground. So they were saying that if it's like, if Man United Women played at Old Trafford, would it be different? Because more people would want to go to Old Trafford to watch them play.
True.
Would you get more people? Yeah, because like I'd love to go to Old Trafford to watch women play. Even though I do live quite far away.
Old Trafford is a great stadium. I mean, I've always travelled down to go there. Travelled up, sorry, to go see them. But yeah, no, like I think it would make an effect on it because it's just being in that stadium, like I know every time especially for me, when I've gone to go watch Man United and Arsenal, they've come down to the Emirates. I've always just gone there just because one, the Emirates is a nice stadium, and two, obviously, I want to watch my team. Same as for Old Trafford as well. I want to go there to go see my team. I want to go see them at their home ground, at like probably their most famous ground. So I think it might make an effect on it.
Yeah, I think it's all just about funding at the end of the day. So men's football's always going to be more popular, more money. So it's just keeping that flow and stability within women's football, and it is day by day getting more popular, but it will never reach the level that men's at because there's not as much money in it that what the men's has generated over the years. So, but it's step by step progress, and it's getting better and better. And obviously, being a part of it a couple of years ago, and that, I mean, I'm still quite passionate about it, but we'll never get to the level. But to improve day by day is a good way to keep going.
Because I read this news article about this Norwegian football team, like the most successful Norwegian football team in the women's side, has been like dissolved because they're not making any money. Like they played Man City women in the Champions League a couple of weeks ago, and now that they're dissolved, they don't exist anymore.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I did read that story because a lot of people like Man City were like calling out about it. Like we played them a couple of weeks ago. They said the Norwegian Football Federation said if you won that game, we would have continued to the end of the season, but they got dissolved.
That's see things like that just really questions the money in it itself. It's not about women enjoying the football and trying to make a career out of it. It's people's lives at the end of the day as well, and just dissolving a team like that is imagine if that happened to a men's team. I know that's teams like not Wigan, is it Wigan, like going through those legal battles.
Bury.
Wigan as well, actually.
Yeah. But I think like a women's team, like as you said, like the Norwegian team, they've just had to dissolve because at least teams like Bury and Wigan can possibly have funding. So it's kind of.
I think that it might have been more to do with COVID, though. To be fair, because lots of men's clubs, like a heck of a lot of non-league clubs, struggled so much through it because no one could go to the matches, and the fact that there were no games on meant that they got no money through the turnstiles, which means loads of them just shut down. And obviously it happened with league clubs as well. Like I know, clubs like Hull who aren't in the greatest position either, obviously count on that kind of money to try and push us forward, and then ends up
it wasn't Norway, it was Sweden that dissolved it, because they've had like players like Kristen Press and her US teammates have actually played for that Swedish team. And
was it Petia? Because I feel like I've heard of Petia, the women's team, and I know they were quite good, but I'm not sure.
I don't think I could pronounce that. I don't think I could pronounce the team name.
Potentially could have been.
I can Google it now.
The beauty in Google. No, yeah.
No, I don't.
You are right. You're right in terms of like that is a bit peak in terms like just dissolving a club out of nowhere, especially after winning a Champions League game as well.
Getting like to the Champions League and like playing City. Man City are a very good side as well. So getting there, like giving them a chance, like, and then they were like, "You didn't win, bye." they weren't gonna. Yeah.
Getting to the Champions League is so hard in general, anyway.
I remember when Man United, because we had a team that was dissolved in 2005, and there was like outrage when we got dissolved, and for so long Man United were criticised, saying, "Why didn't you have a women's team? Why didn't you have a women's team?"
I mean, we've got a team now, and we're top.
We're first,
Top by 4 points, goal difference of 18.
Yeah, like our game against Chelsea, like, come on, we can do this. Like, I think Chelsea, like, they've played 2 less games and they're 6 points behind us. So
they're the best team, but I think we drew with Man United first game of the season, which I think was a good result for Man United. Obviously, first time in the Women's Premier League, Super League, and obviously they've really come on now. So I think that game is a title. It's a title game.
It's like this is our 3rd season, and we're like challenging for like the Women's Super League title. Like Casey Stoney's doing something. I can't believe it.
She's great. She's a great manager. She was a great player as well.
Yeah. Right, we will switch to the end part of our podcast. This is the part that probably most people are waiting for. I don't entirely know. We do kind of seem to be longing this out a bit in terms of this little idea, but we are going to do our combined Championship 11 as well as our combined Premier League 11 over this calendar year. So this can include players who played in the Championship last season and are now currently in the Premier League. And likewise, the same, it can also include players who were in the Premier League last season who are currently now in the Championship. So what we will do is, I'm hoping we've all made a team or done a formation, because last time we had Olivia, who just made a list, and luckily we were able to just fit players in. But what we'll do is we'll start with the Championship, because it's probably the most exciting one in terms of how unpredictable that league is, because I'd say it's probably the most unpredictable league in the entire world.
Yeah, I do agree with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother holds a strong opinion that it's the best league.
Oh yeah. So we'll start off with what formation was everyone thinking? Because I was thinking a 4-3-3, like just.
Yeah, I've gone a 4-3-3
Yeah.
with a CDM, but it doesn't matter that it's a CDM.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right. We'll start off with goalkeeper. I think that's the biggest one. Myself, I went for Samba from Nottingham Forest. I think he's been very solid. He's recently brought in. Just he's something that Nottingham needed.
Yeah.
He was a lot different. They were struggling with saving shots. A lot of them were going in, and Samba comes in. He's a lot better at saving by far. And he commanded the box pretty well as well. He got his defenders in line when they needed to be, and he definitely improved their defensive record. So for me,
he was very good last season. Very good when we were in the league.
I mean, what does everybody else think of?
I put Samba down, but I also put Rodak from Fulham.
Oh yeah.
And I also put Ben Foster in there as well, just for a little shout out to the Cycling GK.
Hey. Well, what is everybody else?
And he's been quite good this year as well, so I'll give him that.
Yeah, true. Anybody else?
I put Freddie Woodman.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that.
Swansea.
I put him there.
He's on most clean sheets this year, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I had a bit of help from my old football coach, Kirk. Shout out. And also Josh Braxton helped me a little bit with a few of the players. But no, I have seen Swansea play. Obviously, they were in the playoffs last season and got knocked out. And then this season, Woodman has kept quite a lot of clean sheets. And I think Swansea,
like Newcastle.
I'm not sure. I think it was at Swansea last season. So I don't know if it's a double loan or.
I thought it was a loan.
But he's playing well, and Swansea are doing well this season. And
he's on loan from Newcastle. Yeah.
And they beat Norwich the other day 2-1 as well. So I think Swansea. I mean, I'd put him in goal, but all the others are viable good options as well.
Yeah.
Chilling. Brown, what do you think, Josh?
I agree with Samba.
Samba. Cool. Right. So that's 3 on Samba. So we'll stick the big man Samba in. Next one, we'll go with the classic old right back. We'll start with Alex on this one. What have you got, Alex, for your right back?
I didn't actually know I didn't know who to put as a right back. I was quite conflicted about the right back position because I was looking at Brentford's right back and they don't actually have like a proper right back.
Yeah.
I'm like, because Brentford's defensive record is very good. So I was like, okay, who are the players? Obviously they've got Rick Henry as the left back, but I don't know. They have no one pinned down the left back position. I know Fossey's played there and he's pretty good as well, but didn't have really anyone tied down the right back in the left back position.
Fair enough. Abby, have you got anyone for right back?
I put Max Aarons of Norwich.
Yes.
We were interested in him, yeah. I totally forgot that Norwich aren't even in the Prem.
I think he played well for Norwich last season in the Prem, in a team which probably I think could have done more than what they did with the players they had. And obviously I think he's played well this season for Norwich. Not Norwich are playing are going to look like they might bounce back up. I mean, it's quite tight up there. But I think he's quite an exciting player. He's obviously been linked to teams in the Prem as well as abroad as well. I think he's a good player. So I've put Max Aarons.
Chilling. Josh, did you put Max Aarons as well, I'm assuming?
You've got to, haven't you?
Yeah, I was going to say. Based on your reaction, you sound like it.
Oh, well, I didn't. I put Matty Cash.
I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
I feel I know Aaron's was good in the Premier League, but I feel from what I know of the Championship, he's been a bit quiet this season, and Cash has kind of carried it over. Obviously, he's now at Villa, but when I saw the right back, I immediately thought Matty Cash instead of Aaron's, really, because I know he was very good at Forest last year and basically carried them quite far up the table, him and Samba. So yeah, he'd have to be my guess. But Aaron's is a good shout as well, to be fair. I think it's a toss-up between both of them.
I don't mind putting Aaron's in. I mean, I'd personally put in Matty Cash as well, because I just like when I saw him play for Nottingham, he's very good in defence in terms of even how he plays now, where he's he's not big, but like he makes himself big.
Yeah,
he's just a strong player. And then when he pushed up for Nottingham, he really gave him outside. So that's what I put him in. But
yeah,
I think we've got 3 votes for Aaron's. I think that is.
I think so.
Yeah. So cool. So we will be putting Aaron's into the team. Next one we'll go with left back. We'll do both the full back. So we'll go left back next. What has everyone got for left back?
I put Joe Bryan from Fulham. I don't think there was many options really from last year, really, and he managed to come up with 2 goals in the final, which obviously saw them through. And I think he's quite a good left back anyway. As I say, there wasn't many left backs in the season last year, really. I mean, maybe an argument for Dallas, but he's a utility man, isn't he? So he plays all across the park.
Yeah. I went with Henry from Brentford.
Yeah, I did with Henry.
This was on advice from my old football manager. He's a young fullback. According to my old manager, he's played well this season. I was thinking of Joe Bryan because obviously being in the Prem and that, but I don't think he's played a lot this season. I might be wrong. I haven't seen him in Fulham starting lineup as often as he was in the Championship last season. I think he's played like, I don't know, off the top of my head, maybe 6 or 7 games this season for Fulham in the Prem, out of their like 13, 50 whatever games. So I just picked Henry over him just for more youth and playing time than Joe Bryan. But you know, I think Joe Bryan's good. He was brilliant in that final, in the playoff final, scoring the 2 goals.
Very
was
good.
Brilliant.
And he's a great free kick as well that he scored.
Yeah, 2 very good goals.
So I think either way, really. I mean,
I
don't know what anyone else has got.
Alex, have you got the same, or have you got something different?
I did go with Rico Henry. I think he's very good. He just because obviously he was quite good last season with Ben Rama up top, so he could he's very fast, and a lot of people think he's because I think he was linked to some Premier League clubs in in the summer, so he's very good. And there's I think he is one of the ones that are destined for the Prem. He was he could follow Saeed Benrahma and Ollie Watkins out of Brentford, but I think that if Brentford get a good left winger, because obviously they've got Sergio Canos who just came back from a major injury. So if they get he was very good last season, so I put him there.
Fair enough. Josh, have you got anybody?
I put Dallas in.
I mean, I put Dallas in as well.
I just rate him as a player.
I think he's really good.
Yeah. That was the same for me. Before he was a utility man, then Bielsa came in, and he was and he became basically an integral part of Leeds. That's why I was you know what? Dallas has got to go in because he's such a key player. I went to switch it up and put Ayling left back or something to try and fit Ayling in, but then I was you know what? There's no point. I might as well go with Dallas because he actually did play left back for a couple of the games and stuff like that. So I went with Dallas, but I mean we've got a variety around. We've got Henry's name checked about. We've got Brian's name. We've got Dallas's. As a group, obviously we need to think of one player. Who are we gonna go with as our one player?
I'm fine with going with Henry, to be fair. I think Henry's a good shout. I think because Dallas can basically play in lots of other positions. Obviously, he doesn't play left back all the time. and Henry's got that youth. I could probably change my vote to Henry.
I mean, yeah, I'm the same. Brown, are you the same as well?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
So we got a unanimous decision on Henry, so I'll put him down as our left back. Okay, so our centre backs, we got the centre back pairing. We'll go with who we picked as both of our centre backs. I know for myself, I picked Ben White, very good centre back. And then I also went with Semi Ajayi for West Brom.
That's what I went with, those two as well.
Yeah,
that's the exact two I went with.
Literally.
Did everybody else do that? Or was any other
No, I
changes?
didn't actually.
I did that.
Oh,
I've got for some. I couldn't pick, but I couldn't pick. So I've gone with Liam Cooper.
okay.
That's a
Of
shout,
Leeds.
Old shout.
But I also put next to him as a dash. I also put Pontus Jansson, which which Braxton also helped me with because I couldn't remember his name. Because he obviously used to play for Leeds and he got promoted last season with Brentford. He's also at Brentford now.
Yeah.
And then I also put I wasn't sure about which one to put out of the three of them. I also put Sean Morrison of Cardiff.
He got into the team of the season when I looked up because I didn't know who to put in, and he was the other centre back.
Obviously, he's been with Cardiff for quite a while now, and obviously he was in the Prem with them as well, if I can remember. Cardiff always seems to be loitering around the playoffs, but they just haven't been obviously bounced back up, and I feel like he's a good captain for them. And then Braxton told me to give a shout out to Harry Salter at Stoke.
Yes,
who had 2 loan spells at Fleetwood Town, and now he's a regular in the Stoke City backline. I think Stoke are a funny team.
Yeah, they're very strange.
Funny.
The only reason I don't like Stoke City is because obviously I lived around there, and I had enough of the Stoke fans ripping into me for Southampton. It was really funny when they got relegated and we used their manager. I found that really funny. I just went around school laughing at everyone.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know what we go with in that because it's quite diverse.
Well, 3 of us have got Ajayi and White, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
It was,
Yeah.
I mean, I only put Ajayi in because he was playing centre mid at Rotherham before.
Yeah.
He got brought in as a third choice centre back. The other 2 centre backs got injured, so then they go, okay, we've got to play Ajayi, and he just turned out to be a beast.
Yeah.
I don't mind swapping him out as long as it's not for the Stoke player.
Yeah.
Okay. So who are we going to go? Semi Ajayi is guaranteed in. So who else?
I think Ben White was better than Cooper. So
I think Ben White
he's.
as well.
I think he probably is better than Cooper. So I think he probably.
What about Pontus Jansson? Are we?
I don't think. Yeah, from what I saw of last year, I don't think Pontus Jansson did very well last year. I thought he fell off a lot from when he was at Leeds because I think when Leeds bottled going up, I think he was good that year, and then he left and went to Brentford, and I don't think he did very well at all from what I saw of him. It looked like he'd basically lost all his defensive ability. I might have seen enough of him, but I'd definitely say White was better last year than Pontus Jansson was.
Yeah. I think with Ben White, obviously, he was brilliant in the Championship, and he was good for the first few games this season for Brighton. But since then, he hasn't really outshone Dunk, in my opinion. And I think I think it's hard because obviously he wanted to go back to Leeds, and I think Leeds need him now, with their centre half difficulties. But he hasn't performed as much this season as well as he could have. But in regards to the Championship last season, I think he was really good.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to go with Ben White and Ajayi.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll put him in then. White's goes in. Okay, so we've got our centre mids, 3 of them actually. So we will start with Josh Brown. Who have you got as your 3 midfielders? Doesn't matter where they play. I don't really care. I'm going to just chuck him in as a back 3.
I'm really struggling with these lot. Honestly.
There's so many players that you could put in there.
Yeah,
Wow.
I found it quite easy once I remembered
There's,
who
there's,
it was.
there's one person I put because I have a 4-3-3 attack. So there's one position I'm definite on, and
Yeah.
it's just because I like him as a player, and I rate him. And he plays for Swansea, and it's Andre I as centre attacking mid.
Oh,
I'm not putting him on the wing.
interesting
Centre
shout.
attacking mid.
Interesting
Okay.
shout.
he's good.
That's one of my definites. Centre mids I'm struggling with, honestly. There's so many people I could choose. I just don't know.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
I thought it was. I found it quite easy. I put Calvin Phillips,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
and then I put John Swift from Reading, who, to be honest, I hadn't heard of until he got on Team of the Season on FIFA. But then
That's all that matters, isn't it?
looking back when I was making the team earlier, I realised he actually did I got quite a lot of assists and was obviously warranted the Team of the Season. And then he didn't really play centrally last year, but he does now. Mateus Pereira from West Brom was very good last year, so I put him in at centre mid.
I read that.
No, I was thinking more like I agree with those two, and I thought Eze. I thought Eze was quite good. As well. Yeah. I mean, I knew he went to Crystal Palace, but I think it was quite good for QPR last season. So I did put him in. Yeah.
I mean, that was my mid three. Phillips and Eze. That was mine.
No.
What about you, Abby? What do you have?
I also had Phillips. I also threw in Brooks from Bournemouth.
Oh yeah.
I think he was one of their standout players in the Prem last season when he was fit. And I also put Cantwell for Norwich. I think he'll be a promising player in the future.
He was good last season.
If Norwich,
right?
he was very good last season.
Yeah,
I think
he
he was
was
one of the
good.
standout players for Norwich as well as Aaron's last season in the Prem. I think if Norwich don't come up, but I think they will. But if they don't, I think he'll move to a Premier League team. I think he has that quality. He's a bit like Grealish in that sense, with the flair, the way he plays. But I also start with Olise. Is it Olise from Reading?
Oh, Elise, yeah.
Olise. I think I've seen Reading play a few times this season, and I think he's quite good as well. So
Was that another name?
I found it tough.
Oh, I was saying.
Oh, I just said I found it tough to pick. I've got loads of dashes next to people's names. I've got so many names. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I think Phillips is a given from what we've said.
Yeah.
I rate Olise, to be fair. 8 assists so far. So
I think Cantwell's been better than Brooks, but that's just my opinion.
I think Cantwell and Brooks is a difficult one because both of them, I believe, played more out wide than through the middle. And I know I put Pereira in, but Pereira does play through the middle now.
A good player.
But obviously, I think they'd both be shouts for the wingers positions, but maybe said like central. I'm not sure. I don't know.
So we know Phillips is a guarantee. So who and the second most said player was what, Elise? Because I know Josh said that.
I feel like Pereira has to go in though as well because I think he was one of the players of the year in the championship last year.
I feel like we go Phillips, Pereira, and Elise if everyone's after that.
I'm fine with that.
Cool.
I've got Pereira further forward, so that works.
And Elise. Cool. And now we move on to the main big three. Our up top. I didn't really care about wingers. I just basically put 3 strikers. I just
jeez.
I didn't.
I just really couldn't be asked. I really got lazy at that point. But I put in. I had Ivan Toney for Brentford.
Obviously.
I mean, yeah, he's currently sat on 16 goals, 4 assists in 21 games.
He is the top scorer in the championship at the moment. Yeah. And obviously the step up from League One, he was like filled with he was tasked with filling the void that Watkins left when he went to Aston Villa. And I think he's done that. He's like,
I feel like he did.
I think he's done a better job, to be fair.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Like, I think, even though some might not agree with me, but I think Ivan Toney did do a better job than Watkins.
Yeah.
You know what?
But is it going to be, if Brentford don't get promoted, they're going to lose him again? They've got to find another player.
Yeah, that's their problem. I put Ivan Toney. He was in a shout. I had Mitrovic.
I put Mitrovic as
I put Mitrovic.
Yeah. He's a big player. And then I was like, Watkins.
Yeah, continue. I'll say my point afterwards. Yeah, sorry.
I said I had Watkins in as well because he's a big
Yeah.
player as well. He really helped Brentford a lot to get towards playoffs, but then just couldn't do anything in the final. Final, he was atrocious.
Hmm.
Yeah, what have you got, Brown? You said you would say your point.
I think there's only one person that can go in the striker role.
Go on.
Right. Hear me out.
Right.
Akin
I'm
Fenwell.
hearing.
Akinfenwa.
Oh
How
my
many games has he played this year?
God knows.
I mean, buy him now.
Go back in failure.
God.
He makes a team a B.
In fact, he doesn't even need a team. He can play by himself.
God, no.
He's
That's
currently
like
sitting.
a proper throwback.
He's played 19 matches and he's got 0 goals and 0 assists.
Oh.
I think he needs to go in.
Oh,
No.
I mean,
It's just his presence. It's just it's his presence. But
I think DK said he was horrible to play against.
he's won 75% of his tackles.
I mean, yeah, you can't. Who's beating him, really? Look at
It's
him.
hard to drop one
He's a
finger.
brick shit house. No one's beating him off. I'd run the other way if I saw him coming towards me, to be fair.
Okay. Anybody else got any serious?
I've
I've got
I've
different
gone
as
wingers.
well.
I've gone wingers as well, so mine's
Yeah,
different.
I've got a few wingers.
I've got a
I've
winger.
gone with. I've got Sar. Oh God, I've got
Sar.
Sar from Watford.
Yes.
Yes, that is a
I
good
have
shout,
Sar.
actually. Yeah, I didn't put him in,
I've
but that's a good shout.
also got. I
Rama?
didn't put Watkins in. I didn't put him in. I just didn't put him in. I don't know why. I also put Tony in. Obviously, the guy we've already mentioned from Brentford. I do have Benrahma, but instead of Benrahma, I put Luka Joa from Reading.
Mm.
I think he's had quite a good season with Reading. I think Braxton would like that as well.
Yeah, he would.
So yeah, with my front three, I've gone with Sar, Luka Joa, and Tony.
Right.
Okay.
So that's thrown a bit of spanner in the works.
Well,
Alex,
yeah, go, yeah.
so I just want to hear what Alex has got.
Yeah, it's fine.
I did a mixture of strikers and wingers. I put Benrahma in because he had a very good season.
Yeah.
I put Mitrovic and also I was struggling between Watkins and Tony, so I don't know which one to put because on one hand Watkins had a really good last season, then Tony's been very good this season. So I've kind of torn between those two players. But overall, I think I did put Ivan Tony. So,
I mean,
yeah.
tell me, Tino, can you help us out?
Right, so I put Benrahma left wing. I thought that was a shoe in. The first name I put was Mitrovic, and then Tony's a very good shout as well because Mitrovic has been shocking the second half of the year. Then the right wingers, where my bias comes in. He was only in the Championship for a month of the year, and it was one of our worst months of the year. But I put Jared Bowen in.
I think he's
because
brilliant.
it's only because he wasn't actually in the Championship that he didn't get in the team of the season. But when he left, he was the second top scorer behind Mitrovic. And I think he was by far the best player in the league then until he left. And I know, obviously, he was only in there for a month of 2020. But that's the reason why I've put him in, because I need to get a Hull City player in there somewhere.
That's enough for me.
But then my other option was Buendia as well, because he's been very good this season. So, but I mean, I'm fine with both, but I just felt like I had to put Bowen in just because he was that good in the Championship.
Well, I think we can all agree Benrahma is guaranteed in because everyone here said Benrahma besides me, so we'll put him in.
Are we agreeing with Akin Fenwell as well?
No,
he can be on the bench. Just make a single man bench.
All right, okay, that's fair. All right.
Benrahma is in, and then we've got Tony and Mitrovic, because I feel like we could put Tony out wide because he used to play out wide.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with those two.
We could just put in Tony and Mitrovic both in if everyone's all right with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Chilling, we'll do that then. So we'll put Tony out on the right, and then we'll put Mitrovic through the middle.
Cool.
Chilling. That's our team. We're not going to do Braxton level and go to subs because That's just too long.
Well, we've already done the subs. We've done the subs bench.
Yeah, it's just
We've
like a
done
Fender filling the
Fenwar
full
about
thing.
7 times.
He
He's that
sits
big.
across the
He's
whole
that
all the
big.
seats.
So to conclude our little championship combined 11, we have got Reece Samba in goal. We have Max Aarons as our right back. Ben White and Semi Ajayi as our centre backs. We have Root Henry as our left back. Yeah, just making sure I wrote this down right.
Yeah.
Our midfield three, we've got Elise, Phillips, Matthias Pereira. And then up top, we've got Ben Rama, Mitrovic, and Ivan Toney to finish it off. And then on the bench, big shout out to Adebayo, Akin, Benoit.
We love you, lads. We love you.
Yeah, we love you. But yeah, that's our championship team. So now we will switch to the good old Premier League.
Where there'll be more arguments, I can imagine.
Ah,
Where Josh Brown's put in every Southampton player possible.
right.
Alex
right.
McCarthy is a shoe-in. Come on.
Right, if nobody agrees with that, they can all go home now.
Nah, well,
We'll end the podcast. We'll end the podcast here.
Yeah,
If
well,
he's not the goalkeeper.
Bye, everyone. I'm glad I came.
This is over the calendar year. So this is this season and last season as well. For the whole
Yeah, he
year.
still goes in.
Oh,
He still goes in.
Go in.
He's going in.
Oh, this season he's been amazing. Last season, no one.
He was good. He was good.
Other than Southampton fans, I don't think anyone actually knew who the hell he was.
Exactly.
I knew
now
who he was.
Now everyone realises
I knew
they
him.
were wrong.
Nah. Either way, what has everyone got? We know Brown's got McCarthy. What has everybody else got?
I've gone with. I've
Alisson.
put 3 names in. Yeah, I put Alisson, but then also shout out to Henderson and Martinez as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
I had Alisson and Dean Henderson. Those were the two I was picking, but I didn't know.
Martinez has been very good this year, so
I do rate
I just
Martinez.
put him as well.
Yeah, so do I. I did originally for Alisson as much as it pains me.
Yeah, I think Alisson
Alisson.
has to really go in though. To be fair.
Yeah, everyone said Alisson, but Josh. So yeah, he's going in. Okay. Left back. I put Robbo.
Robbo.
Yeah.
Robbo.
The easiest position to pick in the whole team, I think. No
Yeah,
chance
I
anyone else
agree.
is getting in there.
This seems easier than the championship one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just wait
we're
until we
doing
get
alright
to
so
the
far.
right hand side. This will be interesting.
Dominated last season.
Wait till we get to the centre backs, mate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Vestergaard and Bednarek easily.
No, Bednarek doesn't go in. Come on, I'm not being that biased.
Right back. I've gone controversial. Put Wan-Bissaka. Yes.
Wan-Bissaka, yes.
Oh no!
my
I'd see. This is what
God.
I've put.
Right,
I've put
no,
all 3
us
of them
three.
in though. To be fair,
Us
this
three,
is
we right.
Trent. So I'm not.
Tau and Abby.
Carl
we all
Walker
need to
Peters.
agree.
Come on.
We all need to agree. No, right. We all need to agree on a right back so Wan-Bissaka gets overturned.
Well, it's either going to be
I
Trent
put-
or James. Trent has been
I-
crap this year, and I
put
know that
Trent.
Abby's going to say James.
No, she
I
said Trent. She
said
said
did
Trent.
you say Trent?
I said Trent. Yeah.
Right, Trent. I'm happy with Trent.
The
I mean, he's
only
been
reason
crap
why
this
I've
year,
said
though.
Trent,
Yeah.
Trouble.
he has, but if I mean James is injured at the moment,
Yeah, see, Wan-Bissaka.
and we have missed him. But Trent won the Premier League and he had a great year last
Yeah,
year.
actually, to be fair, James the
think
first
he
half
has
of
to
last
go there.
year. Yeah,
This
no, I'm fine
Hmm?
with Trent then because James didn't really play
Trent.
last season, did he?
Outvoted
Oh.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
We've been outvoted.
Wan-Bissaka's the only one that's.
If there's one player of the Man United team I don't want to be in that team, it's Wan-Bissaka.
He's
Yeah.
been consistent, but all right.
What, consistently bad?
Ooh,
He's won the most tackles in the Premier League in 2020.
Thank you.
What about this year?
Oh well.
What about this year?
Okay,
Even
we're talking
better.
about 2020.
Who's this year?
If this Wan-Bissaka is still the highest tackling in 2020. He won, I think he won like 90
Yeah.
something. I remember because United told me.
I'd have Luke Ayling over Wan-Bissaka.
oh
Yeah.
Jesus! Oh
He
no!
has
What
6
have I just
goals.
heard? What have I just heard?
Oh my God!
Oh no, Abby,
Oh
take
my
that back.
God,
Abby,
please
take
don't.
that back,
No.
please.
Right.
That is diabolical. That's too
switching.
far. That's too far.
We're not having Luke Ayling. We're switching quickly. We've put disgusting Trent in.
I
Beautiful.
agree with that one.
Back.
Beautiful.
Centre backs. Who have we got? Centre
Van
backs.
Dijk.
It's going to be Van
And
Dijk.
Van
Vestergaard.
Van
Van Dijk
Dijk.
and Vestergaard. And Vestergaard.
I I actually think I actually rate Vestergaard, to be honest.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
do as
Vestergaard
well, but
putting
I don't think he's deserved of going in the team of the year.
Well,
really.
Alex McCarthy deserves to be in the team.
The
as well, so I don't know
the trouble is, I've got 3 names because I don't know. I put Zuma, Thiago Silva, or Fabinho because I just don't know. I don't know who that other centre back could go to, really, because there's not really been any good ones. And I know that Thiago Silva's improved Chelsea's defence a lot, so I'd kind of be leaning towards that. And Fabinho's been quite competent there, so that would also be a reason.
I said Ruben Diaz because he's just slotted into
I
City.
put Ruben
Yeah,
Diaz
that is a
as
fair
well.
shout as well. To be
Diaz
fair,
as well.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I've put Diaz over Zuma and Silva, so that's got to say something.
I just know Zuma's obviously scored quite a few goals, hasn't he? And he's been all right at the back. And Silva's.
Do you know who
also
else has scored a few
helped out.
goals?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody Vestergaard! Now move on. Get in the midfield.
Vestergaard. No, Zuma's on 4. Sorry, Vestergaard's on 3. But who are we chucking in? Diaz. Zuma,
Diaz
and
Diaz.
Diaz and Van Dijk.
Diaz
Now
and
that
Van
would be a
Who's
pairing if they were on the
Who's
same team.
No,
Okay, I went with another 4-3-3, so I've got a
Yeah,
flat.
same.
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3. Cool.
Wait. What's going on here? There should be 2 strikers here, boys.
Not if you dare say Danny Ings and Shay Adams. I swear to God.
I've not said both of them.
Shane Long.
No, I hate Shane Long. Honestly, I hate Shane Long with a passion. I hate Shane Long with a passion.
The midfield 3, I went Kante, Bruno, and De Bruyne.
It has to be Bruno.
Kante. You've gone
I definitely put
Kante.
Bruno
That's
and
surprising.
De Bruyne.
Yeah, Kante.
I don't agree with Kante.
Right,
Shout,
right. I'm fuming.
I'm fine with the
fuming.
other 2, but I don't agree with Kante.
I'm happy with Bruno and De Bruyne.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just one There's just one other centre mid that needs to
James
be put in this team.
Ward-Prowse. Yes.
James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse. He's underrated. He deserves it.
See, the trouble is, there's also
Glad we
another player
sorted.
that none of you said, which is Jordan Henderson.
I've
which I
just
don't
said
really
Jordan
understand.
Henderson.
No.
Because as much, I mean, he's had
No.
yeah.
He's just a manager on the pitch.
Thank you.
And that's
It
good.
worked.
That's good.
worked.
No,
If it's a manager
he's
on the
not.
pitch,
I
that's
don't like him.
Just because you
He's
don't like
tried
him
to be
doesn't mean
honest.
you got.
Ward-Prowse is a better
We've
player.
had 3 votes. Get Henderson in. There we go.
Yeah.
No,
Me, Alex,
please.
and Abby have all said it.
Please,
so
right, I'm fuming
I
if
would've rather
Southampton played and
Henderson's
get
in
it.
there.
I would have rather had Ward-Prowse than over Henderson, but
Please,
No.
somebody else vote.
I did actually put in Ward-Prowse before, and then I forgot De Bruyne.
There's a third vote. There's a third
existed,
vote.
so-
There's a
No,
third
no,
vote.
no. That was instead of De Bruyne though, because I
sorry.
forgot about
Okay.
De Bruyne. But no.
right.
Oh,
So
this is- I swear to God,
Said,
if
I've
if
said
any of you
Fernandes,
put
Henderson and De Bruyne.
Yeah, that's what I said as well.
yeah, Fernandes was the first name I wrote down in this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
Fernandes, yeah.
Same,
I put
to be
I
honest.
put Fernandes and De Bruyne.
He's already beaten the Premier League goal contributions within a calendar year, and he's still got a month left to beat it. He's already beaten it. He's got a month left, and hopefully he can
My
extend the
God.
record. But yeah,
Bruno?
front three. I went Mane, Kane, and Salah. But I also put Vardy.
Oh
and
my
Yeah, that's
God!
what I did.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
I did,
my
I did
God.
that though, but
How can you put Kane in?
I could
he's the best striker in the world.
No, he's
That's
not.
What, yes, he is.
No, he's
Yes,
not.
He
He's the
No,
best
he's
in the
not.
He's the best
No,
striker
he's
in the
not.
world. Yes,
No,
he
he's
is.
not.
Yes, he
No,
is.
he's
Yeah,
not.
he is.
No, he's
Yeah.
not.
Yes, he is.
If
Finishing, he's the best striker in the world.
If this is based off 2020, he's not
Then
in it.
yes.
No,
That's-
he
Yeah.
was injured.
The thing is,
Well,
was
yeah,
injured.
when he has played, he has.
No.
the thing is though, if you
I
take
don't
away
want him in
penalties,
a team.
Nah.
if you take away penalties, Ings is top. But if you still
In the
include-
world. In the
yeah, but
world.
if you do
In the
include
world.
penalties, then we're not. Then
If
Ings
we're
No,
not including-
you're forgetting about Talmutinho, all right?
If we're taking away penalties, if we're taking away penalties, the
Roshan
top
can back
goal
that.
scorer in the world is Danny Ings.
Yeah.
How can he not go in the team?
Danny Ings is not the no, because Vardy was better than Danny Ings last year.
If you take away all the penalties off open play, the best
still got to
movement,
convert the penalties.
But you've still got the penalties to score.
He
And
didn't
if
take
you
any
scored them,
penalties.
you still got the
he
goal.
didn't. No, it's because we didn't get any penalties. That's why he hasn't scored any.
Well, that's your fault for your players not going down.
Well, I'm sorry, we're honourable.
You're all just
Sorry,
going
we're
down
honourable.
outside the box so James
Sorry.
Ward-Prowse can score the free kick.
Yeah,
Go down
exactly.
in the
We're
box
smart.
next time.
No. It basically is a penalty if Ward-Prowse has got it as a free kick.
I mean,
I
he
put-
did still get the
I put Son over Mane, but apart
Yeah,
from
I
that,
think
I,
Son
Yeah.
I put
is
Salah
probably
and
more
Kane
as well.
deserved this year as well.
So you've got what?
but
Son,
Grealish is in with a shout as well. I put
yeah,
Grealish in as
he
well.
is.
Right.
I put Son, Kane, Salah.
Son, Kane, Salah. Okay.
Yeah,
no, I
that's
can't
I'm
really do.
fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not.
Son
Alex?
and Kane's combination of how many goals they've scored between each other. I think there's a...
Well, Kane's progressed a lot as well. Obviously, he's not the most mobile striker,
Take
but
Son away from him.
he's
Right. I
got
want
more
Son.
assists in his game, especially
Do
this
you know?
year.
Do you know what I really want to
Yeah.
see? I want to
I mean,
see.
he's top of the Prem assists. You know,
Right.
that's
What I want
not-
to see. What I want to see is I want to see Son get injured. Not because I don't like him. I really love him. I want Son to get injured to see
Yeah,
Kane do absolutely nothing.
I said that as well. Actually, I would both of
You
them
actually
to get
make a good point, yeah.
Take Son away, he's nothing.
Yeah, because if Son and Kane both get injured, what are Tottenham?
What is Harry Kane? Nothing.
What is Harry Kane?
That's the same in most.
Take away Danny Ings and James Ward-Prowse out the Southampton team. What did he do? You've
Take
got
out
Shane
Bruno.
Long. You've got Shane Long up front. That's what you've got.
Yeah, and Che Adams though.
And like he's not worse.
He's not. He's been all right. He's doing well.
All
With
right,
it's his
yeah.
movement. It's his movement and stuff like that. It's not his goal scoring. I agree with that. He probably could score more, but he's doing bits with his movement and that. I'm sorry. Right.
If you want Danny
No.
Ings in, then I'm saying Jared Bowen to go in both teams. That's
Oh, for God's sake. It's just if you take them individually as players, then Danny Ings is better.
I would happily put Ings in just because of his open play goals. I would happily put him in.
Yeah, same.
He can go on the
Yeah, but
bench.
who would
He can
you
go on
put
the. He can be
Ings
the only
over?
man on the bench. We can have the Josh Brown bench coming back with
Can
Andy
I-
Benwer and Danny Ings on it.
I would have put Ings over Kane because I didn't know between Kane, Vardy, or Ings because I was like, if you do take away penalties, it has to be Ings. But if you penalties,
If Kane hadn't had such a good start to this season, then I'd say
I
Vardy.
agree.
But
All
he's
I'm saying
been
is-
very good this year.
All I'm saying is,
Yeah.
you look at the teams that are around the players.
yeah, that's true as well.
That's a good point.
Then Danny Ings, he's just showing how world class
Mourinho's
he is
not playing a
compared to him.
CDM at Cam.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
He's
but he's also got some-
Bale, who's basically got one leg.
It's because Ndombele is probably the best passer in the team.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so what we go? So we know Son and Salah are definitely in,
hmm
and then it's between Kane and Ings. What are we?
Right? Shall we just all agree? Let's take Salah out and just have Son and Kane, Son and Kane in with Danny Ings. There we go.
I don't think you can take out the
Can't
best player in the
take
league,
Salah out.
to be honest.
No,
I don't
you
think, that,
can't.
I don't
You
think
can't
that's
do that.
really what you can do, you know. That's,
Oh,
So Salah, Son, and then who?
I know you want to.
I hate Harry
Kane.
Kane.
It has
and
to
I
be
think
Kane.
Ings is
As much
brilliant.
as I know,
I wouldn't care if it was Vardy. I wouldn't care if it was Vardy. But
I hate
Kane-
Leeds. I still put their players in the.
I just don't
Yeah,
think Kane.
I agree.
I don't think Kane deserves it.
He does. I mean, he's top of the assist charts and in the top 5 or 6
I
top
don't.
scorers as well.
You know
Yeah,
what?
he is.
No. Yeah,
What?
it's because of Son. It's because of Son. Son is the true godly player.
I mean, yeah, he is. To be fair.
But then again, that's like saying Suarez was only
Right.
good because Messi was there.
Let's look at.
yeah, he
No.
was.
Yeah.
Nah,
it's-
he
no.
was
Like he
good
wasn't
Liverpool
good.
as
Like
well.
he wasn't good at
Right.
Liverpool anyway.
He was sick at Liverpool.
the
Exactly.
Gerrard or whatever
He's
then.
proved himself. He's proved right. We take right. We're gonna take away Son. We'll take away Son from the
No,
team.
we're not
What has
taking
Kane
away
done?
Son.
No.
No. We'll
Here,
take
no,
Son
here.
away from Kane. What's Kane gonna do?
Take away Son.
No,
who's
right. No,
basically
this is just
been there
from
all
the
the
Tottenham
time
team.
that Kane's
This is
been
just
there.
this is
That's a
just the
pretty
Tottenham.
thought.
It's
Yeah.
a thought experiment, I think.
Right. Son gets injured. Is
Yeah.
Harry Kane performing as well as he does?
No.
Thank you. You
But
take
that's
away.
because Spurs don't perform as good when Son's there either. Spurs as a team. I don't think it's got to do with Kane
Exactly.
being
They're
there.
relying on one person.
Kane always relies on a person because even in his previous seasons, he relied on Dele Alli.
But it's not. It's not
And
like he's
Christian
it's
Eriksen.
not like he's relying on Son's passes. He's
Relying
supplying
on
Son
Son
as
scoring.
well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he kind of does. He relies on Son
But
to go down in the box.
But Son's passing to him,
you're
he's
still
passing to
getting
Son.
those stats, you know. Like but it also almost brings back to Suarez with Messi. Like you take
Yeah.
Messi out of that mix, Suarez is still scoring goals and getting assists. I reckon.
I don't think
Even
Kane
without
would, though.
Messi, he's the GOAT.
I don't think Kane would be scoring as
But
much
I still,
or assisting as much.
he would. I mean,
I don't think he'd score as much.
Kane
if
has
he
to
gets
be in
into
there.
that situation, he's still scoring goals.
So we're going
I
Kane
know,
and then.
I know you don't like. I know you
I
don't
just
like.
don't like
Kane,
him. I just don't
but
like
I
him.
know,
He's rubbish.
but don't get me wrong.
He's
I
actually
think he's a
rubbish.
fantastic player, but I don't think. I think the three that we've said have to be the front three.
I don't think Kane deserves it.
One thing I find funny is Kane speaks worse English than Marcelo Bielsa. That's what.
Tesco.
Okay, so we're going Son, Kane, Salah, and then Danny Ings is our super sub.
The old bench is Southampton
Yep.
players.
Yeah.
Ryan Bertrand, Champions League winner.
Yeah.
I just don't know how he's not in the team over Robertson.
Only ever appearance in the Champions League and he won it.
Is everyone in agreement to say Son, Kane, Salah? I know obviously Brown isn't, but is everybody else?
Yeah.
Jacob, you in agreement?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's that, and then super sub will be Danny Ings.
I want Son to get injured. I want to see what he does.
This podcast has taken a very dark turn. Wishing injuries upon players.
I'm not wishing it because Son is a bad person. He's a beautiful man. I'm wishing it to prove a point.
I just want him to get
Fair enough,
injured.
let's
On
be
the bench,
honest.
Danny Ings.
I just want Son to get injured because everyone above me in fantasy has got him and I don't.
I have him, to be fair.
That's why
I
you're
took
below
him
me.
out. I put Penandes in. Penandes.
Thank you. He scores more than
Got him. Got him.
Bloody Harry
I
Kane.
swear to God, if someone says Fernandez, I'm
He's
Fernandes.
to
Fernandes.
He's
He's
our
not-
number
He
4.
just score penalties.
Watch him defend. And we watch him score. He'll pass the ball. Come as you like.
And he has assists as well, so you know.
Look at that shot accuracy from Danny Ings. What a beautiful man. Look at that shot accuracy.
So what's our
Right.
You've got a chart up on your wall, haven't you, Brown? I just
Can I
know
just
you have.
point this fact out?
Right.
Harry Kane has below 50% shot accuracy. Do you know who doesn't? Do you know has 68% shot accuracy?
Let me guess, Danny
That
Ings.
doesn't
Danny
make a
Danny
difference. That
Ings.
doesn't make a difference
Danny
to
Ings.
it, unfortunately.
Either way, to conclude our Premier League team, we have
He's
got
not even a
Alex.
striker. He's a centre attacking mid.
Who cares? So either way, our team is Alisson in goal, Robbo left back, Trent right back, Van Dijk and Diaz as our centre backs. Then our flat three, we've got Bruno, De Bruyne, and Henderson, the idiot. And then after that, then we've got.
Yeah, I don't agree with Henderson either.
Oh, you're jokers, man.
And up top, we've got Son, Chunky Kane, and Salah.
Literally, man. What's the point of him?
PK.
What's the point of him?
But yeah, that's our team. Super sub is Danny Ings as well.
And Ward Prowse and Yannick Vestergaard and Alex McCarthy.
We're not putting all of them in. We're just having one.
Might as well throw Shane Long at this point.
Oriol Romeo.
No, I said I don't like
Oriol
Shane
Romeo.
Long. I hate Oriol Romeo.
Might as well put Yoshida in there. He's not even there anymore.
Yoshida. Mate, he plays as striker, as a centre back, lad.
Graziano Pella.
Oh, what a lad. Oh, I miss him.
We're only having one super sub. We're not putting the whole Southampton bench on and stuff like that. We're not. We're not on the same level as Josh Braxton, where he was happy to do all the subs and stuff. Because
Can't believe
I'm
this.
not about that.
Got to do the under 23s as well. Jesus.
No, just can't believe you lot, man. Honestly, I would have put Ings in over Kane, but yeah.
Do you want some chips with that salt? I can taste it. I'm starting to taste it. I'll just bring up Fernandez again, and he'll just start crying. So it's all right.
He's not called Fernandez.
Thank you. See, even Alex agrees. He's not Fernandez.
You just got Kane. You just got Kane. You just got Kane.
And I saw that video and I was thinking, what is going on in that video? Oh, come on. I'm searching up Fernandez open goal contributions. I want to see this. I bet you.
I'm tasting the salt, you know. It's really, really salty.
Right, what is this?
I love being a neutral with a top six. I love it.
Whatever happened to everyone hating
Okay,
Spurs?
here we go.
You've all rejected.
Bruno-
Fuming.
Bruno Fernandes, in 30 games, he's got 14 assists, and then he scored 19 goals. None of the goals have been penalties and were open play. He's not Fernandes.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just a shit Tom Eves at the end of the day, and that's where I dropped the mic. So there we go.
I'm reading this article on Talksport right now that Tottenham fans have admitted themselves Harry Kane's better. I mean, not Harry Kane.
Yeah,
Danny Ings
I
is better.
thought so.
No, I'm literally reading it right now.
Oh well, we've set in stone.
Anyways,
The team is set in stone. We can't change it, unfortunately.
Look at this. Spurs fan on Talksport claims that Kane should be sold and replaced with Ings.
Wow,
we could
one
be
Spurs
here for hours
fan.
talking about this.
I'm pretty sure there's more Southampton fans out there that think Kane's better than.
I do agree.
No.
Oh well.
I challenge you to find it. I reckon they exist. You know.
No more. Stop with this.
I'll get up Harry Kane versus Danny Ings 2018 stats, 2020 stats.
It's over. It's set in stone. We can't do anything about it. Okay. What I will be doing is I will definitely put up these teams onto the Instagram page and our Twitter page if it's still active. I haven't got a clue because I never see it half the time. But yeah, that was this podcast. If you want to see the teams or hear them again, you have to scroll back a bit through myself, Josh Brown shouting. And you also have to hear it on Instagram. But yeah, that's from me. Just saying goodbye. Everybody else, you can say it right now.
See you later.
Bye.
There we go.
Bye.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Oh, strange.